Hey Raw Foo, it's Shea.
And Frankie G.
And I thought it would be really freaking cool, since we're both together, to do a little Raw Foo interview video. So actually Frankie and his beautiful wife Camille are in town tonight to do a Monday Night Live, and he's going to be talking a little bit about going localvore and tuning into the season, learning how to eat more seasonally. So do you want to just talk a little bit about that for Raw Foo?
Sure, yeah. Well, thanks for having me. And yeah, what I've seen on Raw Foo and Whole Foo and Farm Foo, all the combined names, is this almost combined effort from everybody that's participating to start tuning in more to where their food's coming from. And whether it's one pot of tomatoes that's growing on their porch, or some sprouts in the window, or like Bunny converting her whole yard into a farm, I really find it's an awesome thing to start tuning into that and growing our own food and participating in that cycle of life and creating food from the ground up. So part of what I've been interested in, and me and Camille have been on this journey for the past year that we've been together, is tuning into those cycles of the seasons, the 4 seasons, especially in New England, where it's really predominant that you have 4 distinct seasons, is creating food and eating food from our area and eating what's fresh and local during that time of the year. So it's been a really fun experiment. We've been eating foods that, for me as a chef of 15 plus years, I've been eating foods that I haven't eaten in a very long time, since culinary school.
Like what? Animal products?
Yeah, a lot of animal products. I mean, in the winter in New England, there's not an abundance of food as far as what I was eating a year ago. And, we don't have salad every day.
Well, what grows there?
Well, in the winter, it's pretty much you're eating storage food that was grown in excess for the fall, and that stores well. So onions, garlic, potatoes, and root vegetables. That's pretty much our main staple. And if you're lucky to have a greenhouse or something heated, you can produce greens year-round, even in the snow, if you have some type of covering to shield them from the frost and the snow. But yeah, basically the roots and the potatoes are the staples. And we've been eating root vegetable soup pretty much like all winter.
Oh, that's so good.
It is so good, and it's so nourishing.
Sally Fallon has this awesome winter root vegetable soup recipe. Have you seen that recipe?
I probably glanced at it, yeah.
Okay.
So it's interesting to see, like just 2 days ago, we went to the farmer's market in southern Maine, and we bought our first spinach and beet greens of the year, and we had our first salad of 2010. And it's like, it went from like, I ate salad 2 meals a day, every day, year-round, no matter where I live, to like, sorry, it's not around me, I don't eat it.
So what has that been like for you, to go from a raw food chef that was like part of your ego identity to embracing being a localvore and going back into animal products? I mean, I'm imagining that when it goes back into spring and summer that you'll be bringing in more raw.
Yep.
But what was that? Was there any kind of a mind trick for you with that, or
a lot of things?
Struggle, or?
There was a little bit of struggle, just as far as like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually eating this, because there was that time where I was like, I shut off so many foods that I'm like, I will never eat this again. Like, this food is evil, and I don't want that in my life, and I'll never do that again. And creating these like guidelines for which I ate, to being almost a huge sigh of relief. Like, wow, I don't have to be so completely anal about what I eat, that I'm like, this feels good to me to put in this food that's grown 20 miles away, that I've actually got to go and visit the farm. I got to talk, well, not talk to, but yeah, talk and pet the animals and see how they act in nature, and watch the whole process from start to finish.
Well, then that speaks highly about, well, I guess the question I'm not quite formulating is, somebody hearing this might then go, okay, well, animal products are good, animal products are fine, Frankie said. And there's a difference between going to Safeway, which is kind of like our non-organic store, and picking up just some random animal products, and going to a farmer's market, or going to the like actual local shops and meeting, So can you speak to the quality of what you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, for what I'm eating, whether it's, any dairy, even with produce, in dairy and fish or meat, it's not, I pick up anything off the shelf, I'm looking for the cheapest thing on the shelf, and that's what I eat. It's the way, I want to eat food, no matter what it is, the way it's been raised for hundreds of years before, like, the Industrial Revolution came, where corn and grain was like, well, it's cheap, we could bulk them up really quick. So I'm not, I'm very picky about what foods I will eat, especially if it's an animal product, because there's a major difference. When people say meat is bad, it's really not the case. Yet factory farm should be illegal, and I think it's dangerous for humans to consume that food. And
so you didn't come up against any kind of, I don't know what your reasons prior to this for being vegan were, but did you come up against any kind of like spiritual crisis going back to animal products or?
No, I mean, I really had to like open my heart and really know that for me, everything I eat there is going to die, whether it's vegetable matter, the soil that the food's grown in, or an animal, something dies for me to thrive. And so whether it's, something with a face or something with a mother or something with a consciousness that's a plant, something is going to be cut away or slaughtered or bloodshed for me to feed my body.
Always a carcass on your plate. Yeah, okay.
So you can get as detailed as you want, or so it's hard. I'm really not trying to say that meat is for everybody, that everyone needs to eat meat. Some people feel they do well on a vegetarian or a vegan diet or fruitarian diet or a breatharian diet. It's all good, but it's just a matter of not just shunning one thing for another. It's opening up of what is health to you. And when I see like vegans who are really happy that they are vegan, but they're just fading away and they're shrinking and they look emaciated and they're pale and their hair's falling out, I question whether they're actually doing something because it's a spiritual belief or just this attachment to who they are. And, that's a big question, and I think a lot of people don't really ask the questions about.
Again, ego identity and being too attached.
Yeah, and it's like, I am this.
Right.
It's like, I am Buddhist, or I am a Catholic, or I don't believe in anything. It's like, we attach the way we eat. So it's just, I just want to raise these questions of like, where are we getting our food, and how are we going to better help sustain this environment that's fading.
So if someone if they think they don't have the time or the energy or even the space to even put a 5-gallon bucket of soil out back and grow tomatoes, what would be the best advice? Finding out farmers markets and at least...
Yeah, I mean, what I've been seeing farmers markets pop up in almost every town, and just where I'm from, in the last 5 years, I've noticed almost every town is implementing a farmers market. It might just be one day a week, sometimes it's two, but I know I can go day to day to a different town, to a different farmers market that's, always within like 30-minute drive. And so that's the best bet, is maybe go to Whole Foods or a better, smaller chain kind of store and find out if they're selling local food and contact those farms that the small produce is coming from. And then you could start, you take the big store, find a small farm, and then contact the farm and see if they have a CSA where you could just drive down the road and get a bucket of food.
CSA?
CSA.
For
Community Supported Agriculture.
Well, I think that this is a really timely talk that Frank's going to do tonight at Monday Night Live. The weather's getting gorgeous here. I'm actually growing my first thing ever. I've got a lemon tree. It took like 2 years for it to actually have a lemon, and I'm so excited. So we've been raiding our friends' gardens for years, and our commitment this year is to actually make it to the farmer's market once a week, not just stopping by the store twice a week. So we also want to really congratulate Bunny on all the work she's doing.
For sure.
And maybe you guys could write underneath here what your commitment is for this year, even if it's one small thing, to get more in touch with the food that's available for you in your local area. Good?
Yeah.
All right, bye.